Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another review for Anime Month. And as today is my birthday, and I got ones I wanted to review on the day of my birthday. So here is one of them. So yeah, I want to say a happy birthday to me. And we now review another anime movies that I wanted to do. That since I reviewed Spirited Away, which I thought was a really good anime movie, really beautiful to look at. The animation is beautiful. The score is really well done. For the Japanese and the English voice dub was good too. So yeah, I Spirited Away was a really I can see why it was considered one of the greatest anime films of all time. I can see that though. I know some people say it's overrated, which is understandable. Because any film that gets so much praise, people can say it's overrated, which I can understand that though. But I enjoy Spirited Away, especially watching it for the first time. And I want to watch it all the time. I was curious about it, and I finally did. I enjoyed it. So, but now I'll get into that though. So for the first of my birthday review, anime review for birthday month, for June, and get into another because Spirited Away, when it came out, at the time it was the highest grossing anime movie of all time, made over 347 million worldwide. At the time, though, well here, in Japan it came out in 2016, but in the USA, it came out in 2017, and this film surpassed Spirited Away as the worldwide highest grossing anime film of all time, which this film grossed over 359 million or 58 million worldwide. So this became the highest grossing one, surpassing Spirited Away. And another one I did enjoy. Now, why I say did I like Spirited Away more than this? It's kind of hard to say. But I enjoyed this. Once again, the animation is really, like Spirited Away, the animation is beautiful to watch, to look at. Same with the score. But the film I'm talking about right now is, I'll be talking about is of Your Name. And Your Name, like I said, it came out in Japan, it came out in 2016 though, but in the US it came out in 2017. And like I said, another one I really did enjoy. And now, so Your Name, okay, in this, although I was surprised since Spirited Away was nominated for an Oscar and it won, I'm surprised this didn't get nominated for an Oscar, since this film also got so much praise from critics. This also has a 98% of Rotten Tomatoes, and I think it has an 8.4 on IMDb. It did get nominated and won a lot of awards though, but surprisingly, this did not get nominated for an Academy Award. Surprisingly enough, or a Golden Globe. Since Spirited Away, it won an Oscar for the best animated film. I'm surprised this didn't get nominated. But Your Name, and this is based on a novel. This is based on a novel, which is also directed by the author of this of the book, Makoto Shinkai. Makoto Shinkai. Yeah, so he wrote the book of this and he directed this movie. And I haven't seen the other films he did. I think he also did one was called Garden for Words. I have not seen that though, but there's a lot of anime movies I have to catch up to watch. So, but yeah, he did a really good job with this movie. And but in this film, which had a couple interesting ideas, even if it's based on a book though, but from other films I've seen, it has a couple of good ideas I like about it. But as I was saying, but the film, what it's about, it's about the story of these two teens that are in high school. A guy by the name of Taki and a girl by the name of Mitsuha. which they're both in high school, but they live in different, like, Taki lives in the city of Tokyo, and Mitsuha lives in a countryside village. And like Mitsuha, she wants to go to Tokyo. She's like kind of like bored for life in the country, so she wants to go to the big city in Tokyo. And but Taki's trying to doing his what is usually his normal life in Tokyo. And one day, well, it hadn't had one day though, but we found out that these two, they're switching bodies. Which is kind of like the interesting ideas that they put in this, because the bodies can switch. It's kind of like in the way of Freaky Friday. You know, Freaky Friday, one person gets jumped into the body of the other, like that. So same here with our two characters. They're switching bodies. Like opens up with Taki. Not only but he switched into Mitsuha's body, and then we get more with which is kind of funny. Well, it's funny at first though, although it's a running gag though, which I think he could have done to only one time though. When he's in Mitsuha's body, he's looking around what room he's in, and he looks at the body that he's in. He's in a body of a girl, and he looks down, kind of touching the girl's boobies. Even when it was funny when the sister walks in, sees her sister touching herself. So I was like, "What are you doing?" So that part I thought was fine. But the thing is, though, that one part, where where he and her body touching her boobies, time and time again. I think you can only just. It would be fine if you done it just one time, though, not just keep on going on and on about it. But that's a nitpick, though. But. And more about when the film goes, about the establish themselves. These two get connect like a bond with each other when they're jumping through, going through each other's bodies. When as it goes on, they have an intimate bond with each other. How the way they're communicating, with they're writing each other's messages, like writing on their arms or through their phones. So the friends all around them think or not they're all strange and crazy, or their quirkiness or whatever. And just trying to live through their lives how they are on either side, right? Like with one of Mitsuha's friends saying that, you're okay, but yesterday you're back to normal, because yesterday you missed your desk or whatever. It's like that. And with Taki, he works at this restaurant, and with Mitsuha in his body, that he has to learn how to work how to work his lifestyle out. So it's like that. So it goes back and forth. You get a little montage of that, how they're learning about each other's lives and all that. So that's like the Freaky Friday part. But what was also interesting is that one time they want to meet each other in this one spot, by their phones and all that, but what you find out, because they're at that one spot they want to meet though, but they don't see each other. And the thing is, they're separated by 3 years. They're separated by 3 years, because Taki, he's ahead 3 years and she's behind 3 years. Mitsuha is behind 3 years. So the concept of that, which reminded me of this movie, get it. It reminded me of The Lake House, which it did, because it's like in this film, there's Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. Here it's 3 years. They live 2 years apart. So it's 2 years in this film, but in this movie it's 3 years apart, which that was kind of interesting. And Taki, she wants to go to her village, to her town, so they can meet her. So, and also there's a little thing there where they're kind of forgetting who it is, because their memories are starting to fade. And when he goes to find out where she lives, when Taki goes with two of her friends, two two of his friends, one a colleague from work, which there was a point where he was when she's in his body going on a date with her. And also one of his friends from school. They go to search for this village because he's been drawing, picturing what this place is. Like, it's a town with this big lake in the middle. And what they find out is that when they're from a local who used to live in that village, the town was completely destroyed and everybody died in it. Because 3 years ago, in Mitsua's time, there was this festival where this comet was going to pass through. This comet. And which, by the way, the animation with mixing with the colors in the sky and the clouds, like when the comet goes down to the clouds, and mixing with when it's at nighttime with the colors of the comics, is very beautiful to look at. Once again, like with Spirited Away, the animation is really beautiful. That's why I say that. Why I can describe the visual animation for Spirited Away in this film. It's really beautiful to watch. It really is. And mixed with the score, like Spirited Away, the score in this film was really well done. There were some songs that I did not mind that was playing through it, like one in the opening, and then one in the middle, and then at the end. The songs were not that bad. I thought it goes in with the score pretty decently. The songs in this. But anyway, but the comet that was passed through their town, it splits into two, and the smaller one completely destroys that town, and everybody else died in it, and she died, and then by this time they're forgetting who is who. That's why they write the stuff on their arms in case they forget. So, and then the one time where they're starting to forget, he stays behind while his two other friends, they go home when he's been researching about what all this stuff had happened, and then he starts remembering something about this shrine that Mitsuha, her sister, and her grandmother went to. This shrine high up in the mountain, and he goes there. And he drinks some of the sake, you could say, that she left there, and it starts regaining some of her memories, and also that he had this ribbon they had tied to his wrist that was something that, which they met before, like 3 years ago. They met before, but they did not know each other. And when she got off the train, she gave him the ribbon to remember her by. And you see them, and there's a scene where they're at the top of the crater of the mountain. They're running towards each other, but they cannot see each other. They hear each other, but they can't see each other. And then there was this moment where Mitsuha says, "A magic hour," and this was they finally, for the first time, they see each other face to face. And then he warns her about what's going to happen. So he tells her to warn the town that the comet's going to destroy the town. And then he writes on her wrist, to remember her by. But before she can write on him, she quickly disappears because the magic hour is over. So, and I think that so with Mitsuha, I think it was when he was back in her body, that she gets the two of her friends, her two friends, Saya and Tessie, or Teshi, to tells her about she tells them about this, that there's gonna be coming. First they're kind of like, what? But they believe her. And they had to set this thing where they're gonna kill the power from the town, and Saya's gonna make an announcement from the school broadcasting room, because their microphones all over town. So she's gonna make the announcement, and saying that get to higher ground, like the high school is the safest place. And at first the mayor doesn't believe Mitsuha, because they have a little romantic relationship afterwards since the death of her mother. Like, there's the flashback in memory where Taki saw her memory, where after her mother died, the father didn't want to take care of the shrine, so he went to, like, be mayor and all that. So, he didn't believe her, and she runs away, and then, and when she's running, and then she starts forgetting who Taki is, and same with her, and same with him. And just before the comet falls, she goes back to her father and stares at him, and then that's when the comet hits, and then he doesn't remember anything about her at all now. And now jump to 5 years later. 5 years later. He's now Taki's now graduated. He's looking for different jobs, and meets up with her Okadura, who is the female colleague of his that worked with when he worked at the restaurant. She want to talk with him for a bit, remembering what happened, and found that she's married, but you learn as they're talking about what happened, about when they wanted to go to that village. You see it on the news, like 5 years afterwards, about what happened. That actually, the town, most of everybody in that town survived. That the mayor ordered people to go to the high school. So that time, Mitsuha did actually convince her father to evacuate to the high school. So now history's been changed. Most of everybody survived in that town. Pretty much everybody survived in that town, and including her and her sister as well. Because you do see a quick shot of her sister a bit older, and she's in high school now. You see a quick shot of that, and Mitsuha has two friends, Teshi and Saya. Like, they're at a cafe when Taki is sitting alone having a coffee, and you hear two voices. It's Teshi and Saya. That's they're engaged to each other. They're planning on when to get married, where to get married. But Taki made it pause for a second, thinking who they are. But he hears they sound familiar to him, but he doesn't think of anything else of it. So they survived. Those two are going to get married. And you see older Taki and older Mitsuha. As they're on the trains, they see each other as they're on the trains going different directions. So they can get off and they want to find each other. And as they get to these flight of stairs, they pass each other, but not knowing though. And then when Taki pauses and says, "Hey, have we met before?" And then it's when Mitsuha starts crying and says, "I believe we did." And they both said, "May I ask your name?" So yeah, your name. I enjoy this film. Like I said, the anime. We're gonna say, blah, blah. Stop talking too fast and stop stuttering. Okay, the animation is beautiful to watch. It's really well done. The score I thought was really good too. The songs I thought it decently blended in with the score, but the songs themselves I thought were decent. The characters of Taki and Mitsuha I enjoyed. Like I said, how the times they were passing through each other's bodies, get some comedic moments. Like I get a little montage of how they're assuming each other's lives, and how they're making messages for each other. The little montages I liked. And like I said, like how the one time when Taki wakes up in her body, touching her boobs, whatever. I mean, you know, it's a running gag. You see it sometimes every time she wakes up and the sister walks in on her. I mean, you could have just left it just do it one time, not like 3-4 other times. But like I said, that's a nitpick though. But and like I said, you really buy like how the two they develop this bond with each other, this relationship just after jumping through each other's bodies a lot of times. I think, well, to me, I bought how their relationship came to be. Because, like, before the meteor crashed and Mitsuo looked at her arm when he left on her, he says, "I love you." I thought that the relationship was... I bought the relationship, that how they really did like each other, even though through awkward circumstances, you could say. But... And then at the end, it was a happy ending, how they finally met each other really face to face without going through each other's bodies, but physically face to face. Although they did on top of the mountain, though. But years later now, and like I said, the concept, like, mixed, like, get freaky, like, it's like Freaky Friday, jumping through each other's bodies, but mixed in with Lake House, because the times they were talking to each other, it was 3 years apart. It's the same thing with Lake House, they were sending letters to each other when they were 2 years apart, which I enjoy that film too, because I like Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock, and which that's the second time they were together since Speed. So, but Your Name, I really enjoy this. I really enjoy this one. And do I say, do I like Spirited Away more or this film more? It's hard to say. I know there's more anime films I have to get to watch, like My Neighbor Totoro, or Tokadoro. I think I said that wrong. Tokadoro. But yeah, that movie with that big creature. And there's several other ones I have to watch, though, but one step at a time, though. But Your Name, like I said, the characters I enjoy, how their relationship was, the music, the score, the animation, like I said, and later by Variety, the country's most stunning anime ever, vividly realized and emotionally satisfying. Well, the emotional part, yeah, because you can see how they're 3 years apart, and how the relationship was towards more at the end. So I guess the emotional part I agree with. But yeah, and I thought that Makoto Shinkai did a good job with this movie. And so, of course, it was a book he wrote, which I did not know about. But see, I thought he did a good job with this movie. And then, yeah, this became the highest-grossing anime movie of all time, surpassing Spirited Away. I just wanted to say, I'm surprised this didn't get nominated for an Oscar, though. Spirited Away did and won, but I'm surprised this didn't. But Your Name, I enjoyed. So what more can I say? Like the concept, some of the ideas I liked, some of the humor I liked. A bit of the drama with the fantasy twist, like I said, with Freaky Friday mixed with the Lake House, and so what I can say, Your Name, I give it a thumbs up. I do. If I give Spirited Away a thumbs up, I would give this a thumbs up as well. For a visually stunning anime movie with characters I liked, how I felt for how they were in their far apart, and then what happens. It was a happy ending as well. How they end up meeting each other, asking their name, who they are, hence the title, Your Name. So for features, you have the interview with the director and the director's filmography, TV special programs, and trailers. So I know there's a special edition of this though, but I'll stick with this for now because I know stuff like that's pretty pricey though. But eventually I will. But I'll stick with this for now. But Your Name, I enjoyed. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more because I have another for more coming. There's a lot more coming for the month of June, of my birthday month, and /anime month later.